So guys, we have officially done it. We have now an apology from the snail whenever it comes to the economy revision, and as well as just general criticism like review bombing and all that sort of stuff. Now, I do want to say this. I'm not going to read this entirely because I trust some of you can read, and I'm going to post this in the comments as well as description of this video. If you want to check it out in full, definitely try that. But I am just going to review it for the sake of time. So dear players, first we'd like to extend our sincerest apologies to each and every one of you. We deeply regret the fact that our actions have let you down. Now, it does go on and on about how this is like an empathy post, basically, of trying to, either stop this, the bickering and as well as just the review bombing, all that sort of stuff. But the one important thing to note from this is that they're going to be giving out a detailed roadmap on the 14th of June of 2023. Now, does this mean that it's going to be fixed on the 14th of June? Probably not. If I would have to guess, the only thing that might happen is maybe some rewards. Maybe the economy change comes through of what they revised from it, because there was some positives within there, especially the RP reductions and as well as just some stuff like that. Maybe it's just a revision of that, but I highly doubt any substantial change will come on the 14th. Basically, what they're probably going to do is tell us, the stuff that they plan on. Maybe we get some polls that we can vote on, and as well as just go through and see what happens. Now, the thing about it is, just like I've said in every other video, I've never been a destructive person. The whole review bombing of War Thunder has been something that I've been thinking about a lot. And it's one of those things that I think every company is just going through right now, of just very much, just controversy. Like, you have the Activision, you have Ubisoft, you have a ton of games which are just going through it. Even EA, whenever they're loot boxes, and as well as just the performance of Jedi Survivor currently. There's a current just like, going after the, company that makes games. And I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's just because, a lot of people are just, fed up with, subpar games, because it is true. Some of these games, especially stuff like Jedi Survivor, which, I have someone named Bryce who was not even able to run the game on a 4090 over 60 FPS because for some reason it just kept on lagging for him and it kept on crashing. So it was a wonderful experience with that game, and definitely would not want to pay $70 for something that doesn't even run. Now, I do think the fact of it is that now's the time to give them a chance. Like, I don't think that we should keep going after them. I've seen some people have started to post images of going up to some of the offices whenever it comes to Gaijin. I don't really think that's like an appropriate thing whenever it comes to that. Like, you've seen a ton of people who do this whenever they have a disagreement, is they try to, make it, what's the right word to it? It's like they make it, public. They make it, they go out and, seek revenge, I guess you could say, of the company. And sometimes, it's like, very good to do that. But at the same time, it's also not very good because you put yourself at risk of, just dumb stuff happening. And, definitely don't want that stuff to happen. I still think that if you have an issue online, you always want to keep it online and never go, in public to try to swallow something that can easily be just, considered a online issue. So some of the stuff I'd like to see done whenever it comes to the economy changes, and as well as just, the general like idea of this movement so far, is I'd want to see stuff like end-of-the-line vehicles get a ton of reworks whenever it comes to how they earn RP. The main reason I want to say that is because there's stuff like the CM11, the M60 TTS, there's stuff that's end-of-the-line vehicles which cost a ton of RP to even research, like whenever it comes to their modifications. And that's a huge thing because some of these vehicles are not even top tier. Like, they're just end-of-the-line vehicles, and because of that, they cost like 20 to 30,000 to research some of the modifications, while a vehicle under them at the same battle rating costs way less. And so whenever you unlock these vehicles, some of them, just like the M60 TTS, I believe is 9.0 right now, you're going to be struggling to do anything because basically you have to wait until you get your APFSDS, which that could be about, 30 or 40 games just playing with Heat Up Fast trying to even get that thing, because it costs around like 20, 25K, 28K in some reasons. But then you go to stuff like the Type 16 FPS, which is or not the FPS, the other one, which is the prototype. And some of that stuff is very reasonable, like 8K to get it, 7K, 6K, 5K, all that sort of stuff. And I believe that's one thing that needs to be hit. These vehicles, which are insanely overpriced for what they are, need to go down in RP. Even if they're end-of-the-line vehicles, they still need to be reduced, especially if they're not even close to being at top tier. Now, the thing about it is, there's been something I've been thinking about whenever it comes to premium account, and as well as just, your rewards whenever you get kills and all that sort of stuff. I believe, like, it's very common, for games to, balance it off players. But I mean, I don't really think that we're ever going to go to a system of no repair cost. I don't think we're ever going to go to a system of, just you can't negatively earn SL, because there needs to be negative incentives into the game, because you want players to either one, start getting better. You want people to not just like AFK bot, which some people have been doing in naval and as well as ARB and as well as simulator. And another thing is that really there needs to be something negative to keep you going, keep you, striving. Now, I don't think it should be like, 20, 40,000, 60,000, 80,000 SL that you lose every time you die. But at the same time, I feel like that you're never going to get a system that's just perfect for everybody. And I feel like if you're able to do at least like a 2-to-1 ratio whenever it comes to ground, and like maybe even just a 1-to-1 ratio whenever it comes to air, I believe you should be making a profit within your planes. Majority of the time, at least for me, I 1-to-1 like easily makes it in planes, and sometimes I get like 10 to 15 kills within ground, and sometimes I make a ton of SL depending on what vehicle I'm playing in that one as well. But there's also another thing, is that there needs to be areas of the game that you play for certain reasons, because if there's not, then there's going to be reasons to not play it. Now, right now, for example, naval premiums right now, or even just naval in general, is one of the best SL grinders in the game. Like, you're able to get a ton of SL just by playing some of the premiums. Some of them are not even that much money whenever it comes to everything. Like, you have the Moffat as well as the Frank Knox, and then you have the other premiums within other tech trees. I highly suggest, if you want to do like the naval grinding method, just find you a premium that you want to grind out the tech tree with, and it should do pretty well. But yeah, overall, I'm very excited to see what happens. I'm not very excited to see, what happens, because at the same time, because some people aren't going to like whatever the outcome is whenever it comes to June 14th. There's just going to be some people who are just going to deny everything. They're just still going to go after Snell. And hopefully, people start being constructive instead of destructive. And I'll see you guys in the next War Thunder video.